Now, what's next? Going deeper into the theme, we often wonder, right? Am I the body? Am I the mind? Am I something beyond? So, to do this, we are now going to present a group discussion on what your mind must be thinking now. Mind, should it be really controlled? We welcome Kumari Bhavani, Kumari Samveda, and Kumari Dikshita, students of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, which is a unique institution in Hyderabad imparting various personality development courses for students, professionals, and people from all walks of life. So, mind and its control, is it necessary? Group discussion.
These days, we hear a lot about mind management, mind mapping, problems related to the mind, and so on. I don't really understand what this is all about. Are we talking of the brain, or is the mind something else? We use our brain power to study well, to get good results, find the best job, and live comfortably. Where does the mind come in all this?
Yes, Dikshita, you have raised some very important questions. I used AI to find what is the difference between brain and mind. Should we discuss that before talking about the other points you have raised?
Fine. Tell us what AI says. Artificial intelligence itself raises many questions. Is it more powerful than the natural human intelligence? Will it eventually take over the world? The questions are endless.
The basic differences between the brain and the mind that AI lists are: Number 1, the brain is a physical organ in the body and the mind is a concept which does not have any physical presence. Number 2, the brain takes care of our physical functions while the mind is said to be the seat of thoughts, logic, reasoning and understanding. So, we can conclude that our brain takes care of our behavior and minds our attitudes. Do you agree?
I think so. Are there any more points you want to add?
It also says that the brain can be tested using neuroscience while the mind is more subjective.
So that means if we do anything right or wrong, it is our mind which is responsible. Now I'm getting some clarity. Our topic, is there any need to control the mind, can now be answered. Yes, there is a need to control our mind. If we do not control it, then what happens? Shall we discuss that?
Do you remember Swamiji's famous comparison of the mind to a mad monkey?
Yes, I remember it very well. Swamiji says the mind is like a mad monkey, incessantly active by its own nature. Then it becomes drunk with the wine of desire, thus increasing its turbulence. After desire takes possession, comes the sting of the scorpion of jealousy at the success of others. And last of all, the demon of pride enters the mind, making it think itself of all importance.
See how beautifully Swamiji tells us in a few words what happens if the mind is not controlled and what should we do to gain control over the mind. For instance, the first point he says is that the mind is continuously active and thoughts keep coming to the mind. Not a single moment in a day is the mind free of thought, even in our sleep. So we need to check and control our thoughts.
Matajis and the Swamijis of the Mat and Mission teach us this in meditation courses. I took one such course. It was very good. But unless we continue to practice daily, even after the course is over, we cannot control our thoughts, creating confusion in the mind. Meditation teaches us to keep the mind quiet, and such a mind also helps us to do well in exams, job, and lead a meaningful life.
You are right. Controlling the mind is the first step Swamiji has mentioned. Now let us talk about the three problems of the mind: desire, jealousy and pride.
Oh yes, these three troubles all of us all the time. When we go to a mall, we see so many things and want to buy them all. But most of us do not have enough money to buy anything. Then the mind goes out of control, and sometimes it becomes so serious that people begin stealing or taking bribes to meet the demands of their minds.
That is why we hear so much about corruption. But you see how innocent and honest the simple, poor and uneducated people are most of the time? The person who comes home to do cleaning and other work never steals things even when we keep them carelessly. Do you think their mind is under better control?
There are many people in the world who have every opportunity to do wrong, like to become corrupt, but their mind is so strong and controlled that they never take anything which they haven't earned honestly. That is why Swamiji says, strength is life and weakness is death. Controlling the mind, I can understand now, means to become strong in the mind.
And keeping the mind under control has to be done every day. It cannot be done only once in a lifetime. As Holy Mother said, the mind is like a wild elephant, so difficult to keep under control all the time. And Sri Ramakrishna compared the mind to a brass pot. A brass pot shines like gold when it is polished, but the next day it becomes black and needs to be polished again. That shows how the mind also has to be polished every day to keep it shining and healthy.
Such a mind which is polished and controlled, like the Mahout who controls the elephant, will be able to escape from jealousy and pride, which are the two qualities Swamiji mentioned. But this control of the mind, especially jealousy and pride, seems very difficult.
I understand. Whenever someone gets more marks, even when we have studied hard and written the exam well, we feel jealous. Someone gets a good job or a promotion, again we feel jealous. What Swamiji is saying is that when such jealous thoughts come to the mind, we should wash them away with good thoughts. We may not feel happy that someone has done better than us, but at the same time, we should not feel jealous.
That's a good idea. Always let the mind be filled with positive thoughts. That is the solution. We cannot immediately get rid of jealousy. But if a jealousy thought comes to the mind, we should control the mind by changing that negative thought into positive one. Now we have one more step which we can talk about, and that is pride.
We can learn to control our pride by taking Swamiji or Sharada Ma or Sri Ramakrishna as our role models. Swamiji conquered the world with his lectures, but he never felt he was great. He repeated that all of you can become a Vivekananda. Mother was so modest that she behaved like an ordinary village woman even though she was divine. Sri Ramakrishna washed the toilet of the sweeper at Dakshineshwar to get rid of his pride in his high birth and spiritual attainments. He also worshipped Mother Sharada to show the world that out of pride, women should not be treated badly.
These are very inspiring incidents. I'm sure we shall find more when we read the lives of these great people.
I would like to add one more point here. The world is becoming worse and worse because people are not paying attention in controlling their mind. I at times feel bothered by the thoughts like, how shall I be in the society? The friends we see around us are different from how we are. That way they treat their life without a second thought about what is right and wrong scares me. Is that their mind are not under their control? I at times wonder whether what is right or wrong. I at times feels bothered by the thoughts like, how shall I be in the society?
Very rightly said. I think in the present scenario of how the youth is getting wrongly influenced, this indeed is a big challenge for us. Evil is spreading everywhere. In such a difficult situation, if we accept the challenge and make our mind more strong and controlled, then it is a great achievement.
From what I understand, there is always good and bad in this world. It is for us to decide what kind of life we want to lead. All generations of youth, even in the past, had their own challenges. So here comes the need to control our mind. We should take the reins of our minds into our own hands. To give in to all kinds of vices is easy, but to stand up to our own ideals is the actual challenge. As you can see, there are plenty of sheep compared to a few lions. So you should make up your mind whether you want to be a sheep or a lioness.
As Swami Vivekananda puts it, nature for the man, not man for the nature. Mind is our slave, and so we should not become a slave of our slave. There is always an inner voice which warns us whenever we are doing wrong things. Swami Vivekananda said, what I want is muzzle of iron and nerves of steel, inside which dwells a mind of the same material as that of which the thunderbolt is made.
We should understand that just like how good food is important for a healthy body, what we take in through our eyes, ears is equally important for a healthy mind.
Let all three of us resolve to practice mind control from today. And let us urge all our young friends to do the same and tell all others they meet to try and see if they can control their mind. Once we succeed in controlling our mind, life will become a great blessing.
Let us conclude our topic of mind control by saying that a controlled mind is our best friend and an uncontrolled mind is our worst enemy. All of us should say this every day so that we progress towards a controlled mind. Thank you.